Hi, my name is Safal and I will be going to UT Austin in the fall, and I will be studying civil engineering.
Hi, my name is Jose Velarde, and I will be attending Harvard University next fall, and I will be studying molecular and cellular biology.
So I was just accepted to UT Austin. Um, so kind of by circumstance, that's where I'm going. Um, I also received a lot of benefits from UT Austin. I was also accepted into the engineering honors program, so it just all worked out for me in that place.
Well, uh, I was accepted to a couple different schools: Stanford, MIT, Harvard, Columbia, and Johns Hopkins. But I chose to go to Harvard mostly because of the just the social environment appealed to me, and also the academics and the well-roundedness of the school. So. Seventh grade, I remember just hearing the name Harvard, and I remember just thinking like, wow, it'd be so amazing if I could make it there one day. And then throughout high school, that was mostly like kind of like the idea. It wasn't like Harvard totally, but I know that if I work enough and I put in the effort, I can achieve that goal or any other school of that caliber.
For me, it was I knew what I wanted to major in for a while, and then what I did was I went online and I looked up top universities USA for civil engineering, and then based off of that, I saw a bunch of colleges. I applied to a few of those in the future, and then I also saw UT Austin, which was ranked like number 4. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. Another thing that I had in mind throughout the whole process was wherever I get accepted, I need to get a full ride because it can be very difficult for my family to pay. And my parents would always tell me that, like, you're going to have to work, we're going to have to work twice as hard, so do your best to get a full ride. So I received a full ride to UT Austin from their engineering school, which will cover my tuition and housing for all 4 years.
I received a full ride from Harvard as well, and I was also a recipient of the Gates Scholarship. So that also covers any fees or costs that are not already covered by Harvard.
Okay.
I think probably I had done my research about UT, and a lot of the things that they were working on really appealed to me. So throughout my scholarship application process, I was able to talk about a lot of the things that I really wanted to be a part of. So I think just knowing about what's going on, how the school is moving forward in a certain area really helped me, really helped people that read my application know that this person knows what they're getting into and they know how they want to help the school too.
So something that I feel helped me a lot in getting those full rides is probably coming off as a well-rounded person. A lot of people, they do very well academically, but they may not be as involved in certain leadership opportunities or things of that nature. So kind of just being well-rounded and coming off as a person who's passionate in their essays, I think that's important as well.
I started looking at scholarships probably towards the end of my junior year, and then I sort of had an idea of the colleges that I wanted to apply to at that point in time. So yeah, that's basically where I started, at the end of junior year.
I started also at the end of junior year looking for specific schools and scholarships, but I started mostly maybe in the middle or beginning of junior year, just having an idea of where I wanted to go, for the next step in my education.
So for me, whenever I was looking at my majors, I knew for a fact that I wanted to do engineering, and for a while I didn't know which area I wanted to go into. But the thing that set apart civil engineering from the other types was being able to work in the field and not being confined to an area where I'm just like sitting at a computer just designing. So that was the main pull for me. I'm going to be out in the field. I'm going to be looking at what's going on. I can also be in the office designing and things like that too.
For me, it was really just a passion, something that really interested me a lot. And I think that's one of the benefits of taking multiple AP classes is you get an idea of what you want to do as a major. When I took AP Biology, I realized that I really liked biology, and so I thought it'd be really interesting to go into the career of medicine, mostly because of that class, because of the things that I learned, and also because of just reading books about how exciting the career was itself. Throughout my high school career, I took basically as many AP classes as I could for the given year. So freshman year, I took AP Bio and AP Human. Sophomore year, I took AP World and AP Chemistry, actually. And then my junior year, I took like 5 AP classes. And the same for my senior year. So yeah, it was a pretty heavy course load.
Yeah, mine was the exact same. I was with them throughout the whole process.
Yeah. AP classes, they are stressful, they are very demanding, and at times it feels like you really just want to just drop all your AP classes and take regular classes. But, at this point I'm realizing that every single class that you take, even if you don't get credit for it later on for college, it does give you a really intellectual experience. You learn about different academic fields. I remember taking human geography, and I was like, I don't think I'll ever be a geographer. But, little things you learn in that class are things that you're going to apply in every single day. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, so like what he was saying, it can help you like find what area you want to go into. But along with that, it's also like, for me, it was like, I was used to being challenged in different classes, and I didn't want to give that up. I didn't want to just go to school and take classes that I didn't feel like were pushing me. So AP classes were a good way to get that feel and keep me busy and just progressing.
Well, I was involved in student council. I was an officer. I was also involved in the KIDC with Mrs. Flores, and I was also in NHS, in Mu Alpha Theta, JWAC, Interact, and outside of those, school extracurriculars, I did community service, and I was part of a band actually. So, yeah.
So I was also in KIDC. I joined debate when I was in my sophomore year. I was also in Mu Alpha Theta and NHS. So that's basically what I did in school. Outside of school, I was in an organization called the Leo Club, which you forgot he joined this year. We didn't really do much, but it's an extension of the Lions Club. We're in the Leo Club, and I was also in karate.
For me, initially, it was just to put myself out there, just to get to know new people and meet new friends. But as I carried on through high school, I realized that a lot of the community service experiences you have are very rewarding, and of course, it helps you build a resume too. But I really tried to be genuine about my extracurriculars and join them because I was passionate about what I was doing, not just because it's something to put on a resume.
Yeah, I think the benefit from being in these extracurriculars is you're able to create a new network of people, maybe not people that you see in your classes every single day. You're able to gain different insights. You're able to gain different skills, through community service, through participating in events like in debate, different tournaments. So yeah, I think it's just experiences that encompass everything.
While I was here at Killough, I was part of the STUCO, student council, and it was a really fun experience. It was very demanding, but really fun. I made a lot of new friends, and you get to expose yourself socially to the school, and not only here at Killough, also at the main campus, and you get to meet people. You get to meet people from Harmon. So I would say STUCO was one of my favorite experiences.
I'd say probably my best experience from high school in general and Killough, of course, would probably be the teachers. I think the teachers here are a different kind, and they're really able to connect with the students, and they're able to make sure that the students know what's going on, and the teachers, of course, have a plan for all their students, and they know how to get the best out of every single student.
Just like having a tight-knit community of people that you can fall back on, or even that group of friends that you hang out with every single day. Yeah, sure, I'll make new friends, but there's just nothing like those.
Yeah,
friends you make.
same thing with the community. Like, we're both going to places that are. I'm going to Austin, which is not as far. He's going all the way to like Boston, so we're going to be like split apart, and we're going to schools that have so many people. Like, I think UT's class has like 50,000 people, and then here we have like 1,000 people in our class. It's just a huge difference. So obviously the community is not going to be as close as we are here. So yeah, probably going to miss the community a lot.
The next 2 years are not going to be easy. There's like a lot of decisions you have to make, and luckily there are people there to help you. You have your friends, you have your parents, counselors, teachers, principals. They're all there to help you. They're not going to be easy, but there are people to guide you. Whether it be college, whether it be even just choosing what classes to take your senior year, to maybe different social issues that you might be facing. There's always people to help you.
My advice that I give to freshmen and sophomores is probably just know that, like you said, these next 2 years are going to be difficult, and also, like, I'm not trying to scare y'all or anything, but the next 2 years are really where you're going to like establish yourself as a person and as a student, and this is where you're going to be showing off to colleges. So keep that in mind, and make sure that you prioritize what's really important, and just know what you want to achieve, because like I said, these next 2 years are very, very, very important, and will basically be a stepping stone for you to move on to college. Personally, I'd probably rewind back like 4 years. When I came into high school, I thought that I could do well in my classes without having to really, really work hard. I thought that I just like knew stuff just like that. So obviously that wasn't true. And it took me until probably sophomore year to realize that if I want to get the most out of my classes, if I really want to learn, if I really want to get good grades, I have to put in a lot more work. So I would probably go back and tell myself, yo, dude, you need to work a little bit harder and really focus on what needs to get done. I started with SAT, and I was in the PSAT team class in my junior year, and then I think it was the summer before that I was also in a test prep class that I paid for over the summer, and that class was about like 2 hours every week. You just go there, practice questions, vocabulary, things like that, and then obviously the PSAT team class, which was at the beginning of my junior year. So that was most of the practice that I was putting into just towards the SAT. And I took the SAT 3 times, that's how much they recommend you take it because your score usually goes up. And obviously I took the PSAT as well. The summer before senior year started, I decided that my SAT score would probably not be enough to get me where I wanted to go, so I decided to take the ACT. And for that prep, I kind of decided to choose it a little late. So I was in the library studying that test like 4 hours every day for about 2 weeks. And then I took the test and I did pretty well. So yeah, that was my standardized testing experience.
Personally, I started looking at standardized testing since like sophomore year when you take the PSAT, but that one's only for practice, I think. After getting my results back, I saw that I didn't do so hot, so I decided to take it upon myself and maybe learn some math tricks or practice a little bit more of the English passages. And then once I started my junior year, I took the PSAT team class, and it really helped me develop more skills to take the test. Because unfortunately, when it comes to standardized testing, it's not a thing that it doesn't necessarily test how much you know. There's also a factor of knowing how to take the test itself. There's a bunch of tricks that you have to learn, and taking a class like that really helps. Now you can either pay for it or you can take the PSAT team class. Either one of them helps as long as you have some sort of like exposure to the tricks that you have to know. And there's online resources that you can use for free as well. But I only took the SAT, and I took it 3 times. And the good thing is, no matter how many times you take it, you can use the best score that you get, and you send that score to the colleges that you want to apply to. And also, there are a couple tests that no one really talks about. They're called the SAT subject tests.
Oh yeah.
And they're actually, some schools require you to take 2. I took chemistry, math 2, and physics. And usually they tell you to take those at the end of, let's say you're taking AP Physics your junior year. They usually recommend you take the SAT subject test at the end of your junior year, since you have all that content still fresh in your mind. But yeah, those tests are required for admission, and they're not terribly difficult as long as you pay attention in class and do well. In that class, you'll be able to do fine in that test.
Yeah, and then I took those tests too. I took math 2 and physics, and he's right about taking them as soon as you're done with the course, because I made the mistake of taking it at the beginning of my senior year, and I had a whole summer gap, so I had to like restudy everything.
So on the college application thing, it's a rather, holistic approach that they take. They want to look at you as a person, not just as a set of numbers or test scores. It is important to do good in school. Like, try your best to get A's. Prepare for your tests and try to score high on those. But you also just want to, be involved in the community, be a leader as well in your school. And colleges take note of that. They want you to be not just good at school, but they want you to be good at different aspects of life. Are there any challenges you've overcome? Are there any opportunities that you've taken to be a leader in your community? They want to see that. They want to see if you're passionate about a certain topic, or if you've pursued that throughout your high school career. They want to get to know you as a person. And with that comes essays and interviews, which are equally important as grades or test scores.
As far as the review process and looking at you as a whole person, we know people. I know a few people who have gotten near perfect to perfect scores on standardized tests, but they weren't accepted to universities of their choice. So scores are important, but that's not all universities look at. They look at everything else. So you really want to make sure that you're showing yourself off as a desirable person. I'm not saying be someone that you're not, but just make sure that be conscious of the image that you're putting out of yourself.